Hello people, it's finally hot here where I live, woohoo! And this is Deborah Dachinger. Welcome to Dare to Dream Radio. Listen, go to the product page because after you listen to these amazing interviews, there's tons of CDs, there's DVDs, services, healing items, workshops, amazing workshops. And these aren't just everyday people. It is your one-stop shop because it is the best, the top of the line, the experts who are global experts. So definitely go there. You can listen to their interviews, get their products so that you have assistance. You have some kind of support going along toward your dream. I was interviewed last night on the radio. I'm being interviewed more and more myself, being interviewed in other television and radio outlets. And that was one of the questions that the interviewer asked me. It was a good question. So what are some of the common denominators, because I interview successful people, what are the common denominators that I see in successful people? It's a great question because those are the things you want to emulate. And one of the things that I said, which is true, I see that really successful people get assistance. They invest in themselves. What I also notice is that people, because there's tons of talented people out there, dear God, there's people with unbelievable abilities, but they're not doing so well. And what I notice about them is they're so desperately trying to figure it out on their own, doing it by themselves, that they're, at best, inching along. And they get defeated a lot. So don't get defeated. Get assistance, get the help you need. Learn how to do things quickly so you can get there and start living your dream and your goal now. To invest in yourself is truly to invest in your future. And what I've seen in successful people who invest in themselves, we may initially think, oh, I don't want to put out this money, this $20 for a CD or this whatever for this book or whatever for this workshop. But oh, I have seen these people. They get that money back a 100-fold because they suddenly have a clientele. They're making a living doing what they love, or they're doing what they love out in the world. So I've said my piece about that. I had a great talk with a stylist today. Wow, that's a whole nother thing. So stylists, that's going to be a place I could see myself going in the future, working more with somebody just like her. And I have something so exciting to tell you. Have you gone to my website, by the way, deborahdachinger.com, D-A-C-H-I-N-G-E-R? Well, what are you waiting for? Go fast. Because there's tons of stuff, and you can listen to all the archive radio shows there if you're not listening to them live. I want to teach you something that I found really interesting. I'm still expanding around this idea. I think we all know Napoleon Hill. Napoleon Hill in the 1930s wrote the book called Think and Grow Rich, which today is still an iconic book for people who are learning about abundance. Sí or no? Sí, señorita. Proceed. So, here's something you may not know, which I didn't before. Napoleon Hill did this amazing kind of meditation whereby he went and got tons of information that he brought back, and it completely changed this guy's life. What did he do? He had a technique that he called the invisible counsel technique, or the invisible counselors. So he decided that he was going to get quiet and close his eyes and go into this meditation, and in meditation he would see a board table, or a round table if you will, and he would fill it with the greatest minds that he could think of. And he would speak to all his counselors and say, okay, it's time now, let's put on some music, it's time now for us to discuss, and he would bring up a subject. So the subject would begin, and he would go around the room, and he would ask his counselors, what do you feel about this? How do you think I should handle it? How should I proceed? And he really got answers. The counselors, dead or alive by the way, started to answer him, and he came back with unbelievable knowledge. Now he filled it with people like Aristotle, like Edison, like Abraham Lincoln, the greatest minds. Now he always admitted this may be fictional, this may be all in my imagination, but all I can tell you is it's working for me. And one of the really interesting things is as he kept doing it, this process, this counselor's technique, the counselors at his boardroom started to take on personality qualities of their own. I'm not kidding you. So, for instance, Abraham Lincoln always showed up late at the board meetings. And once the board meetings began, and you can just picture the tall, lanky guy in his top hat and his white shirt and his black bow tie and his long black sort of tails coat, walking around. He would pace. He would pace the boardroom while thinking. So everybody took on qualities. Now, he claimed that this visualization technique was an ultimate tool for sourcing skills and information. And he claimed that he could tap into the mind of anybody for advice, for wisdom, for guidance. And just think about it. Jesus, Socrates, Newton, Burbank, Lincoln, Plato, Homer, Edison, Galileo, Leonardo da Vinci, and other invisible counselors. So whether it was imagination or not, who knows? But this technique, it helped. See or no? So what would happen if you could use this technique yourself and get crystal clear answers? Think about questions like going to your boardroom and saying, what is my true purpose in life? And just sitting there and allowing them to talk, give advice, give feedback. What if you had the greatest psychics there, the people who read Akashic records, the people, oh honey, you could have God there. You really could. What if you asked, how can I start making money doing what I love? What if you gathered your invisible counselors and said, what can I do next to improve my health, my relationship, my work? What if you had a boardroom reading and asked, what beliefs are holding me back from achieving my goals? And finally, what if you got together your round table or boardroom of invisible counselors, greatest minds, and you put out on the table for everyone to discuss, what is the most important thing I should focus on right now? Great questions, right? Well, I became so fascinated with this that I actually did some Google researches on who were the greatest minds, who are the greatest thinkers, who are considered to be some of the most iconic people in our history, good iconic people. And it was great for me to see all the different lists and names and achievements, because I started to realize, boy, you could tailor this. What if your thing right now is singing? What if your thing right now is architecture? What if your thing right now is traveling? What if you could break this down into a category and go after the best people there, and then throw in some other ones that would be really cool to have their feedback too. You know, you could just have Oprah's whole crew sitting there, everybody that she's made big in her life. You could go anywhere you want with positive, amazing minds, but I think that this technique is phenomenal. And the other thing I've been thinking about is, even though, bless his heart, Napoleon Hill says, yeah, you know, so maybe it is imagination, but it's changing my life. What I think is, honey, everything is energy. Everything is energy. I'm energy. This camera's energy. This microphone is energy. The air I'm breathing, the liquid in this cup, the plants, the light bulbs, we're all energy, just in different forms. And if we're energy, we're all one. We all, in a sense, move in and out. That's why they say you could see atoms. You could see things broken down finitely. So if you take it that everything is energy, and if we really all are one, then of course you can go in a meditation and access these amazing phenomenal minds, because those minds are our minds. I know that sounds far-fetched, because for me even, I'm thinking the greatest German philosopher, how about Mozart? How about I could come up with names like, hey, those are amazing people, but yes, we truly are all one. And if we're all one in energy, then of course we can access this information. So before going to sleep at night, or choosing to be in meditation, and yes, I cut my hair 8 inches and nobody said a word. 8 darn inches. You people in your inches, all you men out there. Close your eyes and envision a group of people surrounding you, amazing leaders, enlightened beings, somebody's profound in their area of expertise, hairdressers that you want advice from. Gandhi, Warren Buffett, Sir Richard Branson, some fabulous women out there. You can invite anyone to join, authors, inventors, politicians, somebody powerful or influential. And once you have your counselors, you become the chairman. You prepare to lead the discussion. And next, be sure you have a definitive purpose. Don't just call them there and hang out and have a conversation. Really have a definitive purpose for the council meeting, so they all feel like they came for a reason. And what is something you want to change or improve or need advice on? Go for that. Then call on the council members for their wisdom and guidance that you need. You can ask each one of them for advice and answers. Just keep an open mind. Let it flow, baby. So there you have it. That's an amazing technique. I hope you'll employ it. And there are a lot of other people like Thomas Edison who said he would take afternoon naps and he would wake up with unbelievable information. So we are accessing something much deeper than we are. Walt Disney ran all his ideas through a meticulous process. He closed his eyes and he imagined. Abraham Hicks reminds us the basis of life is freedom. The purpose of life is joy. The result of life is growth. Dare to dream. Go to DeborahDachinger.com. We love having you. I'm going to have an amazing guest tonight who I'm interviewing and I'm very excited about. And I love you all for dreaming and dreaming with me. Keep those emails coming and all the support. I'm so glad to be doing this journey with you.